Hello, boys and girls. My name is Keith Rains. I am a teacher in California, but I haven't always been a teacher in California. I used to teach in Japan for 8 years until they had an earthquake and tsunami, and there was a nuclear power plant explosion and meltdown, and I had to come here to California. While I was here, I started my master's degree. And in my master's degree, I started thinking about how in the Common Core, they want you guys to learn 21st century skills, and they talk about 21st century skills, or at least write about it, but they don't define what those are exactly, or how they're supposed to be taught. Well, I also have a hobby, and my hobby is traveling. I've been all over the world with my wife and with these two characters up here that you're going to learn about. One of them, his name is Mr. Sneaky Duck, and the other one is Edgar Allan Crow. Now, they're not the normal type. I know they may look like stuffed animals, but they're not actually normal. You'll read about them and you're going to learn that they're a little bit magical. Now, in these videos, the first thing I'm going to do with you is I'm going to read aloud and think aloud. In other words, I'm going to read the same thing that you read first, except I'm going to read it with you. Maybe we'll go over terms, maybe I'll look at something, maybe I'll be interested in something and look it up. But anyway, then we're going to go into what we learned last time, but the first time we are not going to have that because we didn't learn anything last time. And then the next time, the next thing I will tell you or teach you is what we're going to learn on this particular video or this page of the ebook. And then I'll show you some shortcuts and computer tips, some of those things that are considered 21st century skills that will help you. Now, I'm going to show you how to answer some of the questions on this video, so it's not just going to be all computer. You're also going to get my instructions, and I'm going to tell you step by step how to do some of the things that I'm asking you to do. You see, my philosophy on what we're talking about, these 21st century skills and computer ebooks and things like that, is that they're really good, but maybe they're too good. In other words, you can't expect a student to be able to do every single thing step by step on the computer without help, and it takes a teacher a long time to help every single one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be the video helper, and I'm going to teach you how to do the things that you're being asked to do. Then you can do the assignment, which is always going to be on the left side of your screen, and submit it. Okay? I want you to know how that you can improve yourself and the types of mistakes you can look out for when we're going through the internet, when we're reading articles, when we're checking some of the facts that these guys tell us on our travels. In this world, you're going to get a lot of information, and it's going to be coming at you very quickly. You have your cell phone. On the cell phone, you have Instagram, you have Facebook, if anybody uses that anymore. You have all kinds of news websites that people are getting information from, and the problem is some of them aren't true, and you have to be able to figure out which ones are true and which ones are not just for school, but for your life. Another thing I wanted to tell you is that on this ebook, there's a survey and a short quiz at the beginning and at the end, because with your answers and how well you do, I'm going to try to improve the book, and maybe I'll change a video, because I'm not always going to be sitting here at the desk. Sometimes I'll be on location, or sometimes I'll just feel like going out to the forest or something to give you guys something to look at. You can only get to the next chapter in this ebook by going through these videos. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to put a link, and you click on that, and it's the next page of the ebook. You can always go back. You just got to click the back button. So first, I'm going to try to teach you a couple of tricks to help you navigate in the computer world. The problem with ebooks, like I said, and textbooks online is that they have everything that you need to do inside the textbook. If you need a definition, you click and you try to find the definition and you figure it out in the textbook. But what I want to teach you to do is to figure it out on any page by yourself without any kind of special bells and whistles on the web page itself. Alright, so first, if you can't see my web pages and you're on a touch screen, all you have to do is pinch the screen to shrink it so that you can see the video and the text at the same time. So you pinch it to zoom in and out. And to highlight text, all you have to do is hold your finger on the screen and slide over. And to find words, you can hit Control F, and I'm going to show you a little bit more about that later. Control F, or sometimes there's a find feature on the toolbar. Then I'm also going to teach you, if you don't speak perfect English, it doesn't matter, because you can quickly find what a word means in your own language, and you don't need really any kind of special software or special website per se. You're going to use Google. And then also, a lot of people don't realize it, but I've been talking to a lot of my students recently. One of my students built a truck. Yes, he built a truck just looking at YouTube and learning from teachers and people that posted things on YouTube. He built a whole truck. Another boy that I know, my nephew, he learned how to play the guitar very well just by learning on YouTube. So some information on YouTube is good and some isn't. It's up to you to figure out which information that is. Now, not only am I going to try to teach you how to tell what's good information and what's not good information, I'm also going to try to teach you how you can learn for yourself, because that's what it's all about. Just 5 years ago, we didn't have the information we have now. And if you stop learning after you're finished with school, you're going to get behind the times pretty quickly. So I'm going to teach you how you can learn things on your own and check those things to make sure what you're learning is actually true. Well, it's nice meeting you. I'm going to go through the first chapter now, and I hope you enjoy it. The videos will get better because I'm going to start going out up to the mountains and things like that for you, just to keep some visual things going.